Fix what I was told. I don't know how I guess, yeah, it's labor I'm taking. I don't know. I had them do this for me. I've been the mayor for 25 straight years. I've been the mayor for 25 straight years. Yeah. We have no use for your coin. 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 I think what I'll do is I'll sit down here, and I'll wait until I see them approaching. Who's that? That one's glowing. There's no way a character's here already. Okay, it's Fen. Okay. Fuck, they're coming to talk to me, god damn it.
How's your day been going, Mayor?
Going well.
Nothing to report. So far.
I saw a small child on the rock. I'm not sure who it was.
If he slips and falls, it's his own fault.
No children allowed near my estate. I don't want them fucking stuff up.
Hmm.
You know how I feel about
Well,
these
keep an eye out.
dirty rascallions.
Mm-hmm.
If it were possible, I'd have them all hung.
Yes, sir.
They're just children, sir.
You know I'm not being literal.
All you have to do is give the command.
We'll notify you if anything goes awry.
Let me know. Alright.
Hmm?
Go on.
Yep, sorry. I misheard.
Good work, Captain.
Alright.
Keep it up.
Don't go again.
Let's have a split.
God, I hate children.
Who wants to take the markets today? Just have a look around.
God, my head's at my blackout.
Take the market, sir.
I just said that. I don't know why. Give the order, sir. I'll do it. Oh, my head's just doing a lot of cookie clackies. That's making me nervous. Come on, stop it. Questionable is a very loose word. Fuck. Visitors don't come ever. To this town. I don't think we've ever had visitors. Shit. Oh, God damn it, there's a collider. That's fine. I'm sitting up here so I can, like, walk down the steps when I see them. Don't want to get my shoes wet. Don't want to get my shoes wet. Welcome to the town. Welcome to my town. Welcome to my town. Welcome to the town. It's so nice to have visitors we've never had. Welcome to Linvale. Welcome to Linvale. We haven't had visitors. Welcome to Linvale. Welcome to Linvale. Welcome to Linvale. It's such a pleasure to have guests within our town. Don't you dare talk to me. I don't want to speak to you. I hate you and this entire town. I don't think there are other towns nearby. These are questions that I would have needed to clarify beforehand, but I'm just gonna assume and not say what I don't need to say. God, my frames are horrible. This map was not optimized. Maybe it was. I can't tell. I shouldn't be lagging this bad looking in that direction even before people were like properly in the map. So, on this island, there's not supposed to be any rifts or rift beasts. Oh, fuck. Here. Oh, shit. Oh.
We have our visitors from the Lad Castle.
Visitors. Alrighty. Alright.
It's been a couple days.
Just can't say I was expecting them today.
Me either. That's why we're doing patrol, sir.
Sorry if it's at all an inconvenience, sir.
It's fine. It's cool.
Just trying to,
Don't worry. Quite a pleasure to have visitors in our town. We don't get this ever, quite frankly.
It's a bird. So, excuse me.
Quietly here.
regardless, we're here on visit. Most of us are already making a little bit of a stroll around your welcoming town, and there was a small lot of us that were willing to speak with you if you had time. We heard and had some visitors of your town that actually stumbled into our residence recently, and as it seems, there was some concerning issues that we wanted to see if there was anything that we could potentially help with.
Of course. There's been quite a few things interesting, to be honest. As of late, at least. I suppose that's why some of us went there in the first place. Right? This all you brought?
There
the number
is
may be
a other
limited.
small smattering, yeah.
The number may be limited, but the skill is very capable.
Yeah. A small smattering us are still over on the outskirts, more or less speaking with some of the agricultural people that we encountered earlier, and, well, you know,
Where are they?
more or less trying to make nice. We won't be dragging this entire group into your lovely place. They'll be over and
That
around.
would be preferable.
There's been some warm welcome. There's been a warm welcome from many people, so I'm sure they can, well, find some things to, you know, stay and do whilst we talk about whatever we can do.
I see. Well, it is a pleasure, at best. Are you the one I'll be speaking to, then?
Yes, me as well as my associates here over and in front, including, yes. We can all introduce
Hello.
ourselves.
Axworth.
I am Taulani, and Captain Taulani. Mustafa, this is...
Captain Jackson, Axworth. It's nice to meet you all.
I'm Callum Vestiel. It's a pleasure.
Talia Magnus, well met.
I'm Kai Tagia. I'm their mentor and overseer in this process. I'm letting them lead, but I will be providing professional supervision over them.
We rely a lot on his experience, so...
I see.
Guests in a home.
Would you
All the way
prefer
except all bounds.
that I discuss this with all of you, or only some of you?
I think that we'll be able to take a little bit of a brief overview if you're willing to speak about it.
Tell me first, what is the primary reason you've come here?
Moreover, us and Rosewood as a whole have a modus operandi that attests to wishing to give people a little bit of hope and comfort in hard times. a lot of us here come from exactly that, and well, we've put together a institution that looks to help solve that for other people. Being that Linvale is a recently discovered neighbor of ours, we decided that in good faith we would come here and try and see if there was some amount of cooperation we might be able to lend, as well, issues like this are things that I think may require a little bit of help to see to it without too much trouble from either side. Or at least that's so your two associates from the town conveyed to us. We got some of the details, but we would be very gracious to know a little bit more from the actual source. People from the town that have other viewpoints, possibly.
And having them all shuffling behind us, I'm sure, would just be putting more people on their nerves than necessary.
Well, we've had a number of issues in the town this past year or so. Longer than that for some of these issues, but be careful going out into the forest, first of all, if you're planning on going out there. If you could solve this, that'd be great. Right now, something's taking people when they go into the forest. We don't know what or who. But I've lost many a townspeople out there. It's strictly forbidden for my town's members, but you can brave it if you wish. And it's possible that's related to one of our main issues at hand. The town is starving. This harvest didn't go over. It was terrible. We basically got no food back from it. When winter hits, we will not all survive. I don't believe, however, that it is the fields that are at fault for this. There's a witch out in the forest. I believe she's cast a spell on us. And more than that, she's been stealing our dead. Bodies out of the ground, dug up in the middle of the night.
I see. That is rather terrible.
She needs to be executed for her crimes. And our town needs to be freed of this hellish curse, or we will die.
That's concerning, for sure. It's a threat that I think is definitely right to be looking into. I'm very glad to hear that we seem to be on the same page, that this issue is something to be looking into. This witch, does she have any sort of connection to the town? Possibly someone of a exile, or just an outskirts wanderer? Or...
We don't know where she came from, but she's not from here. I've never met her personally. Quite frankly, I never want to.
Understandable. Does Linvale have anyone which they rely on for any sort of magical practicing?
No.
Yeah, I see. Right.
Okay.
Bit confused what you mean by that, but since I don't know.
Oh, just someone more familiar with magic and
Hmm.
science of it.
A medicine
thing, we have is a
person, a
herbalist.
shaman, a mage, a herbalist is another example. Right.
We have a herbalist.
Is this herbalist in town?
Yes. Should be in the market that ways.
This may be a more private conversation thing. An overview is what we need as a group.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Talani, if I may interject,
yes.
we should get a little bit more of a direct overview, more than specific problems where we can talk with that in private. We should talk about the biggest dilemmas and then go into the more nuanced problems in private.
Yes. We also do need people to talk to, so that's also a good idea before we do anything else. And just trying to think of ideas, but you're right.
Yes. Before he
This,
is host to everyone.
Yes. This, witch. The crops seem to be a very prominent issue, that of which is, well, supposed to be caused by her hand, her magic. What exactly else have people, been reporting in? What exactly, else has been happening? As you described, it has been a long time.
I don't know for sure if it's related. But regarding the people being taken when they go into the forest, there was an incident recently. One of our guards reported it as a beast in the forest. It killed one of my best. You could solve that case. The death of an innocent man. I'd be in your favor.
Seems like a fair proposition.
With respect and permission from you, there's some members of the group that wish to talk with some of the townsfolk. Getting more or less some feedback from them as well, as you never know what some other people might have in terms of information about this. I'm sure that there might be some people that are definitely just as worried as us. So, if we do have permission for them to stroll the town, maybe interact with some folk whilst we're here. Meanwhile, me and everyone here in front, we do have ample time to talk more about this issue a little bit more in depth if you have the time.
I have one request. Two of yours cannot remain within my walls, around my townspeople.
And that would be... well, that would be...
that one there. And the small one in the back. If they're to remain in the town, they must be kept a close eye on by the gods.
We can assure you that neither of them mean any harm, but we will respect your wishes.
Then, to ease some of that worry, this one will be going with me. We'll look into this incident in the woods. That way your guards are a little more at ease, only having to watch one.
Alright.
Right.
Okay.
Well, if that is what we are doing, then I suppose we will follow suit. Everyone make sure to remember your manners.
If you want more information about the missing person, you can talk with my guards, and I'm sure they can also lead you to his widow.
curiosity, which of your guards would you say is the most expertise in the defensive area?
This one here is my captain.
Oh.
I'd have to pick them.
Okay. Cool. Just curious to touch base on everything you guys are operating with.
Well, I think that me and my associates here would like to have a talk with both of you. I think we could share and some feedback from the both of you and see what we can of the situation.
Right.
All right.
Of course, standing over and around here, probably a little bit of a...
I was thinking we could take a look at perhaps if you'd be willing to show us the ways you've been dealing with missing persons and curfew and such, and showing us around the town as well. It's quite an interesting place.
Any other orders for us, sir?
Hmm?
Any other orders?
None
One of my
currently.
associates over here standing in back is a trained group of people that we selected to take up on this visit. They're more or less going to be taking a little bit of a look around the outskirts, doing some basically initial searches, trying to look for anything that we can, forensically or otherwise, into the situation. It can be run underneath your nose, and, well, we can't be too careful. We're trying to search with every asset that we do have. I can assure you that they'll stay out of everyone else's way, and, well, there shouldn't be any trouble at all. But just so you and your guardship is aware.
I'm going to make one more thing clear, then. What my gods say goes, and so does what I say. I'll accept your help. Of course, I'm not going to be unreasonable. And it is appreciated, and a pleasure to have guests. But our ruling is final, as much as it might go against anything that happens with you.
Of course. Of course, we can understand that. Regardless, they heard all that, so they should be able to follow suit with these.
Are we off then?
Right. That's good.
That's the case.
Okay.
Yeah, then.
So we have our mission.
Let's gather up in a group.
Let's do. Let's get investigating.
Come on. They should be able to.
And maybe with a little reconnaissance, maybe we can help with some more practical problems. Show our camaraderie and other.
I gave a very big hint drop there about my character not telling the truth to them fully. I said I had never seen the witch, but for some reason I requested Kiki to leave the town.
Right. So we should begin.
And I requested Kiki to leave the town because she's a harpy like the witch. So once they realized that if they put that together, they'll know I've met the witch, and I lied to them.
We want to go fast.
Holy shit, my head said blacked out there. I didn't think it was gonna come back.
Yes, Mom?
Yeah, what do you want to do with this? Come on, let's go.
Want a tour, or is your purpose? Should group be concerned?
As long as the captain, of course, approves.
No,
Captain?
Notice that the
Man wishes to leave.
this structure, I believe it looks like an aqueduct. I don't know what it is.
Lock?
Sure.
Right, so how may I assist?
What did you say?
I noticed your wall is quite a landmark. I was curious what it was earlier, but you know,
something about the beast.
No idea.
Yeah.
Walls.
So
it's an old.
Been there all my life. Been there before.
We'd like to ask you to go with us.
Yeah.
But I know you have your hands full here, so
into the woods. So these places
I know you have your hands full here, being a good god.
Could you show us a
So
couple of them?
if you can direct us
Well,
Tell me which way we need to
gone
go.
into the forest.
Where the outskirts are and where your
Anywhere near
more
town
forbidden section
or
is, so we don't go wandering
places
No, not
across,
near the town. In the forest.
humans into danger.
You with me?
Just well, with the captain's order, I can lead you to the border and point you in the direction of, believe danger, but I'm not taking any steps further with you. I can't.
I'm not at all asking you to, I'm sure. You're a very busy guard within the town.
Of course.
So,
All right,
your
then,
captain,
so I'll,
please feel free to speak.
So it's the three of you.
check it over with my superior then.
Oh, we're just dating. Yeah, straight up meeting people, really. Nothing
This
too,
man here wishes me
bad.
to
It's nice to meet you.
escort
I'm
to the
Solus.
outskirts of the forest.
I'm Bill.
If that is within your...
Hey, we're going the same way. I guess we'll be
What was yours?
We're heading together, then we need not.
Solus Anima. You can call me Sol if you want. I don't really mind. Alright.
You will not be able to join us. We are heading to the outskirts. We'll move on from there.
Things. It seems as if
Your little lad.
we already have plans with
The group with me, we're following the captain in regards to the outskirts
I'm the
of town,
supervisor of these
plus
two,
the
and
into
you
the
must be our
forest.
escort for today.
Which one is that?
Of such things.
The captain who comes there,
I'll be having a look.
green hair.
Well, look over here. But mostly I'll be just going around on your
won't
own.
be
I'll
joining
just
us
telling you
within
what
the
not
forest,
to do
but
most of the time.
they are busy.
I would have been fantasy racist against Tao as well, but I decided he looked human enough with just a deformity that I wouldn't care.
with
Go on, Emma.
no warning.
Her name is Emma.
legitimately
Her
just,
name is Emma. Right, Emma?
leaving without anything.
Right.
I was thinking about it. Tao looks like, yeah, he has the weird, slightly weird colored
She's more chipper than
sclera in his eyes.
So what now?
About their disappearances.
Sorry, brother.
They do disappear.
So Vera. So
yes.
strange animal you got there. And you
But and the obviously the fangs, but
place you'd want to go first.
well, not the fang. What are they like? The tusks. Yeah, that's what it is. But I was like, that's human enough. I wouldn't care. That guy's pitch black. Like Squid's character, Angel, is like literally like darkness. Yeah, it just looks. Tao just looks like a guy with a deformity, and if I looked closely at his eyes, I probably would have noticed they're not human.
Ben, when you lead them out on the left-hand side of the graveyard. Just point them generally into the woods.
So, Angel gets fantasy racism for very obvious reasons. Yiko gets fantasy racism because they're a harpy, and the necromancer is also a harpy. Yeah, he could just be a Borzavirica. You're right, actually. So there's a lot of reasons why I just think he's normal, because the town only has Zavirica and humans, pretty much. Anyone who's small, I just assume is a small human. I say Yiko? Shit. I said Kiki. Don't worry about it. Akaneko. Basically keeping a fucking close eye on Kiki, because they look like... Alright. What NPC are you playing? Just a random townsperson, or a guard, or what are you playing? Okay. Cool.
Send them to the right of the farm. They're straight out there. Tell him to swim.
The swim. Yeah, because I don't really think anybody's seen the witch except for me. And I said I didn't see the witch.
If you're feeling nice, you can tell them they can go around the boulder to your left.
This one's gonna be a little bit boring since I'm just NPCing this. But it's fine. So there's been rumors of a witch. Everybody knows about the witch or the rumors. But they don't know they're a harpy, as far as I know. I could be wrong. But there's been rumors, but nobody should know what they are. And it's even more rare that people think she's a necromancer, which is assumedly caused by the fact that she's stealing the dead bodies. They're right. She's definitely a necromancer.
Going to need the witch and the zombies quite soon.
On cue.
Coming.
Delayed healing, god damn it. What are they doing? Imagine trusting a demon. Or a harpy. Oh yeah, I was fantasy racist against him just a minute ago, Jay. I told him that he wasn't allowed to remain in the town unless a guard kept an eye on him, but luckily, he's not on the people that are going in the town. This town is composed of Zavirica and humans. Anything else is an outsider and an outcast. Kiki is Zavirica, I believe. Being a harpy, they should be a Zavirica as far as I'm aware. God, they're coming back to me.
Right.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
We've, thank you for having us back. We've, worked with, Captain Agnew to, get to the outskirts of town, and
They'll have eyesight on the witch's hut.
the
in less than a
investigative
minute.
group is currently underway looking at things. They'll be fine, and if anything of interest comes up, we have a direct line of communication. We'll be able to know.
Mm-hmm.
For the moment, we decided to return to, try and talk a little bit more about, well, some in-depth things.
There's one theory I didn't mention regarding the missing person. Though it could be a beast, no one else that's gone missing has left what was left behind on that case. It's possible that it was a murder.
Oh dear.
And I will state this once and foremost now. Murder has only one punishment, and I will not falter in giving it out. Public execution by the gods. There's a murderer in this town. They must be dealt with before they kill again.
If there is, Mayor.
Yes, it was a working
Pick up
theory.
here.
Did your witness on the beast say anything about the visage of it? What it looked like?
I don't have those details myself. You'd have to ask him.
Okay.
He would be one of the guards, I believe. Right, Captain?
He's with the other group.
The guard with green hair.
It's the green-haired one, Frankie.
Frankie.
I see.
It was his best friend that died.
Oh dear.
Have you spoken to her wife yet? His wife. She's in the town.
I don't believe so.
Yes, I presume that, one of us will. Everyone else is about town, and, well, she was one of the people that we, meant to speak to.
It's just talking to Frankie and the wife. Don't know her fucking name. Tried to figure it out, but I couldn't. Couldn't find her.
We noticed your property line ends at the farm. How often before this curfew was set up did you have wandering townspeople in the forest?
Well, I mean, going into the forest wasn't the most common thing, otherwise the entire town would be gone. But it was enough to justify noticing something wrong.
Oh.
People would go in there for whatever reason to forage, pick flowers. None of that anymore.
Have you had any
Oh, fuck, I do seem like a sexist.
any witness accounts of those bodies have been dug up walking about the place? Or attacks from them or something?
God, Captain, that's a question for you.
No.
Okay. Do you believe this necromancer could be connected to any of the missing persons?
Probably. Maybe. We don't know what's in the forest.
We don't know what they are. We know they're a witch. I'm not willing to make the assumption they're a necromancer.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't have very many questions other than those.
As
If
far
I
as
may.
events, we have, let's see, crops. We have the disappearances. What were you saying?
You were opposed to our short friend,
Right, I was curious about that
Kiki.
as well.
and our short friend. Come to us, head. Referred to a harpy. Is that your understanding of this witch?
I've heard rumors.
But nothing more?
Nothing more. Just rumors. Again, don't trust anything she says or does. This witch. She has to be killed.
Oh.
For the town.
See.
Or we won't survive.
Have you been able to go and apprehend her yourselves, or are you waiting on something significant?
You mad?
I was just curious what the
We've got enough
stoppage was.
people disappearing out here. Enough problems to deal with.
Yes, Jackson, they've kind of made it known that they are unlimited sources and limited manpower. So exactly going after the mythical and mystical aren't exactly
Right.
When the crops
enjoyable
run
topic.
out, we would have no choice. Until then, we're surviving. Oh, even these rations and
Right.
everything will soon dissipate.
On the matter of your farm lands changing, since there has been a current change, do you have a map of maybe the most important areas here that we should look out for? Or other things that might help our investigation?
We haven't really needed maps. Well, lived here for the last 10 years.
Not even an archive?
Can't say I could place one with how long it's been. We haven't needed much. We've been on our own.
Right, so I believe if one of us would take a note and make sure we note all the places in the town, maybe create a little bit of a map for ourselves and pass it around just to be efficient.
Yes, sir.
No ships have been coming in to the island to aid them or anything? It's just been the farm and you all?
We have some
Yeah.
fishermen, but no ships now.
Okay.
They go very far.
So you haven't actually made contact with this witch then?
No.
Like peacefully?
No.
Okay. Alright.
All I know is she is not to be trusted. For very obvious reasons.
We're trying to track down someone that we have very limited information for, but we're running under the very obvious illusions that we have a very big problem, that of which is her fault. We need to develop a sort of mental diorama of her thought process. So we need to try and figure out what could be the cause, what her motive is.
A motive for cursing our town.
Knowing that.
Possibly stealing our people from the forest. Stealing our dead, our loved ones. From their graves. No motive justifies those actions.
Justify, no. But create a person, a monster willing to do it. Well, it's justification for her, and that's why we have a problem here today. We've discussed and had workshops about similar things back in Rosewood, and, well, it's important that we try and understand those things. It could be anything from some kind of targeted thing the fact that it's dead from here, the fact that it's targeted specifically against you, from what we can see, there's not too many other people to, well, take on this island, and, well, considering the fact that we have not had incidents, only heard about them, that obviously pertains to reason that there's something going on. There's some underlying reason. Linvale has something, or a lack of something, and we need to figure that out. The people that go missing, could you in any way tie together some kind of shared traits, location, that of which is kind of taken from a lot that they usually leave from, perhaps occupation that lots of them share or that are similar, maybe age ranges, anything like that?
Fortunately, every townsperson that's been taken was seemingly random. Of course, there's the correlation of being from here and heading from the town into the forest. That's to be expected. There's no way to get around that part.
There is always the working theory that they are playing a slow game, and, well, this war of attrition between you and that witch is slowly but surely getting harder and harder to deal with. Which, in that case, the motive could be something along the lines of gaining some kind of easy entrance into the town, possibly trying to take it apart bit by bit, but that still doesn't explain exactly why.
Right.
Doesn't. But let me just state this again. I ask of you one thing. Do not risk my townspeople's lives on trying to sort out some sort of moral compass for this monster. I've taken
No, of course not.
all
Just,
alike. Women, men, and children. Doesn't matter.
Right. If I may interject, it's less about a morality problem and more trying to find where a destination where we could maybe find our ne'er-do-well and be able to trap or capture them and
knowing thy
allow
enemies'
this
motives
execution.
and strengths and such is a valid way to plan against whatever they might have planned. And so, knowing anything that you or your townspeople may have picked up on would be helpful in encountering this witch. Should we face them?
Yes. We can all see here that the town has already suffered enough. I believe you can agree with that for sure.
As well, you wouldn't want to wait
questions
until...
3.
Yeah.
First, where do you bury your dead?
The graveyard, just that way. The road should lead you to it.
It's inside the walls of the town.
I believe just outside, next to the forest.
Understood.
Easy access. The
second...
Oh, you have 3, I'm sorry.
Yes, I apologize. The second, you mentioned that your punishment is death by execution for murder. If we are able to find this, the professor has raised a question of, assuming she can be captured alive, do you want to execute her yourself? Or you only want her dealt with?
It makes no difference to me if you execute her or if my guard captain does. I just want to see the body when it's done.
Evidence, of course. Makes sense.
Though I'm sure it'd be rewarding if you brought her into town to have it dealt with.
Well, we won't make any promises as we also have to care for the lives of our own, but if we can, we'll do our best. As much as you care for your people, I care for mine.
And as long as she's dead, I do any outcome.
Third, the visitors to to Rosewood had mentioned some of your townsfolk that had left and come back different. Is this something you have any knowledge of?
Can you repeat that last bit? Sorry.
The visitors who came to us mentioned that some of your townsfolk left, and perhaps were taken and returned changed. Do you know of this?
It's rumors. I know no more details than what you just said.
Of course. Thank you.
I was just going to say before as well, as a thought, you know, you wouldn't want to wait until everyone is on the brink of starving and desperate to go deal with a problem. It might make people a bit, more vulnerable, though they would be coming with a lot of aggression. So if we can solve this before then, you know, before crops are under threat or anything. That being said, we noticed you have, if the harvest was going better, quite a well suited amount of food to feed quite a bit of you, and we have ourselves conditions with food that are desirable, specifically on the crop side. But we lack livestock, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in discussing trade, or possibility of it.
We can discuss trade of some sort, yes.
Grand.
At some point, after this is dealt with, and that witch is dead.
I see, okay.
Of course.
Even if that spell of whatever's happened to our crops is undone, there isn't enough time to grow more before winter hits.
Yeah, of course.
Then
We
I
have
think
amongst
it's likely a good option for us to look into trying to look into this if we can with trade and other things. I believe that it is not only the question that we can both make it so that way we see through this winter just fine.
Yes.
We will have to see though. First we have to find this.
We haven't caught it yet. Well, Avenera definitely has. I know Avenera, they've caught it. But I don't know about the others. Some of their questions were pretty directed.
As well. Maybe we should go discuss with the other townsfolk to get more information on it, and then see what we can do.
We can touch bases on some people. Before we do, if this event calls for some kind of public action from the townsfolk, nothing to get them in danger, more or less the opposite. If something were to be called, or if it was in the best interest for your townsfolk to take shelter, would you have a preferable place in mind? Do you have stuff like that set up?
Something we've never needed, so no.
I'd recommend, just as a quick follow suit, that you recommend that people keep inside their houses if possible. Lock doors, windows, everything. Whatever the closest building they can get to, and instruct everyone to stay there. If there needs to be a rally point, potentially somewhere like here, the town center would be an apt place if you can fit enough of them inside. That's a worst case scenario, and we are dedicated to making sure that we don't need to utilize those things, but as is with precautions, they are unsavory business that you talk about right now, so that way you do not have to deal with even more unsavory business later.
Yes.
I think that we are going to touch base with some of our other members and just as well see if we can fill in any more gaps, but if we do have any more questions, will you still be available at some point in the future?
I will. I'll remain here, in the town. Of course.
Right. Alright. We'll see what we can talk with everyone else. See what has been ground up, and then from there see what we can do. We appreciate your time so far, though.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you do have our promise that we take this issue seriously, and we are going to investigate to the best of our ability to see if there is something that we can maybe come to terms with. We want to figure out what's going on, at the very least.
Of course.
We'll return if need arises.
Oh, man. I'm trying to get him to kill her. So we set it up so that as soon as they start talking about the dead, Sophie as Lee 2's gonna be like, oh, well, he's giving me the bodies. And I'm gonna be like, don't trust her. Don't trust her. She's lying to you. She's spreading misinformation. Some shit like that. How the hell has it already been almost 2 hours? That was fucking quick. Holy shit. Did it start late? It might have, yeah. We've only been going for an hour, I guess. So the estimation for this was 2 hours here and then 2 hours back at the other map. I think. However, I'm gonna see if they can solve me that murder, because I want to fucking do the public execution. That sounds sick. And if I find out any of them, this is the hard part, right? If I find out any of them have killed or hurt a townsperson, I have no weapons or spells. I'm the mayor. I think I might have been supposed to have a sword, but I didn't put one on the model. So I'm just the mayor. I'm just a dude. I think if they kill anyone in the town, right? And if they kill a guard, for example, or something, if they commit murder, or we try to arrest them and they fight back, we'll have to try and publicly execute them. And if we try and publicly execute them, they're going to have to wipe us out. Or at least kill me as the mayor. Oh fuck, what if we kidnap some of them? What if we arrest some of them and then we have to rescue them next session? That would be so fucking funny if we arrest someone and then the second mission with Ignis and them, and I have to go save them as my actual character. That's true. But no, I'll just have the guard captain do it. I think it's more menacing if I stand behind the guard captain with my arms crossed, like yelling, and I have someone else actually kill them. It's like it's a different type of vibe. As cool as it would be to do it myself, and probably frightening as hell, to show that I think it's much more corrupt if I have someone else kill them for me. Almost like mafia style. I'll try and be a good man. I'll go into town. Keep an eye on things, personally.
Okay.
There's a guard there, we're fine.
I don't know why, but like it's called cow bone.
Oh, that'll be fucking great. If they start attacking, I'll be like, kill the harpy. She's the one and the same with that with that witch. Kill that harpy. Let's get the main problem out of the way first. You're one and the same with that damn witch. She forced this deal upon me. I had no choice. It was that or die. For all of us, I mean. Get a load of this. Ow. Wish we had more guards. If shit goes down, I'll ask if townsperson or two can become guards, maybe.
The amount of buildings are well kept. I suppose it would make sense. Not much else to do around here. Other than those such things. I noticed a shack behind the mayor's mansion over there, an old building. Is do you know the history?
I don't know what the shack does. Taking. Switch is the one who's been taking. I'm writing a speech just in case she comes to town. Switch is the one who's been taking. Aw. Aw, people. Dead and alive. I'm taking out people dead and alive. This witch is the one who's been taking out people dead and alive. She has been desecrating. Our loved ones. Our loved. Mutilating. She spills nothing but pain, misery, lies, and deceit. And now we'll spill her blood. Now we spill her blood. So we can burn the witch. Shit, I wish. I mean, we're just gonna kill her though. Like, that would be that's a really good idea, but I should have planned that beforehand. She spilled nothing but lies and deceit, pain and misery. Someone has been taking all dead people. Dead and alive. Has been desecrating our loved ones, mutilating our families. I want to put molesting in here, but I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I gotta change mutilating. I don't want to put I don't want to put because I want to put children in there as well. I'll say desecrating our children. That sounds better. Mutilating our families, molesting our loved. You say ye old times. Doesn't that still happen sometimes? This witch is the one who's been taking our people dead and alive. Well, it's donated now, but it used to. I think it still is stolen in some places, probably. Oh, I remember now. Stop fucking talking, Mono. That's true. That's true. Nah, I'm going with desecrating our children. Traumatizing our children. I'll add no longer shall we be. No longer. Traumatized and afraid. So I'm gonna state one thing that I'm pretty sure I'm aware of. She has not cursed the land. Yeah, sure, I'll add withering our crops. Yeah, that's a good idea. So she has not been withering our crops, funny enough. That's just something I decided it would make sense to believe with everything happening. There's no reason the mayor would blame the townsfolk or the town for the lack of good crops, for the lack of harvest. It has to be a witch causing it, right? Isn't that how they used to say it back in the day? She has been withering our crops, desecrating. She's poisoned the watering hole. She's been distracting our guards whenever she walks by with that thick ass. She puts pineapple on pizza. She's double caked up on a Sunday afternoon. They also didn't ask my name. They didn't ask my name. It's Betsy. Betsy Betterson. What makes sense now? Oh shit, what happened? What happened? I mean, I'm gonna warn them about her again when they come back. My name's Betsy. Well, yeah, but what's to say they'll trust the mayor or trust the witch over the mayor? Who's that? Fucking Bryce. Pretty fucked, yeah.
Garg, when you have a moment, can you join DMs 2? Electric Boogaloo?
Hello?
Right.
I was told to come here?
I think your mic's wrong, but hi.
Hi.
So I'm just going to
Yeah.
quickly give you a few more pieces of information because slight plans have changed, so I need
fuck.
I need to get into we need to get certain information to the students now
Okay.
that they were not able to discover. So
Sure.
they with the witch.
Okay.
They found that she was, in fact, not the one, taking villagers.
Okay, good.
And so they know it has to be something else. Likely they're going to come to talk to you. If not, we can push them to come talk to you other ways.
Mhm.
The information that we're going to need you to give them is If it's not the witch, then there needs to be something else in the woods that is taking people. You remember rumors from years and years back before people started disappearing of I mean, there was always monsters in the woods, but not nearly as, if they're causing disappearances, this has to be something else. You remember rumors of a strange cave out in the woods, some ancient mine that was rumored to house certain monsters, but it's been abandoned for years, and you're not sure if it's legitimate, and you didn't think to bring it up before.
Okay, abandoned
Important part.
rumors, monsters, an abandoned cave.
Yeah.
Okay. They just completely missed all that shit?
They did, yes.
How were they supposed to find that out?
They went out into the forest to find the scout's body, and it's like maybe a couple, like dozen yards past it, but because there's so much fog and they didn't want to go farther than that, they just fucking walked back.
Damn.
Yeah, so we
okay.
need to feed that information elsewhere. So
Sure, I'll mention that, assuming they don't kill me when they found out that I... Well, we'll see if they believe the witch or not.
yeah. Yeah. All right, thank you.
All right, all good. All right. Very slight change of plans, but I mean, it's not really a change of plan. It's just more things I have to tell them. Rumor, monsters. Rumors of monsters. An abandoned cave. It's not monsters. I suppose there's another possibility. But it's far-fetched. Over the years. Monsters. Been long and forgotten. Here they come.
May.
There you go.
Hi.
I have some very interesting news to report.
Yes.
We found a body with a sword in its back, but its legs ripped off. Come on.
Ugh.
Yes, sir. It was in the forest. Slightly into the mist.
I see. was it?
Yes. Couple days old. Bearded.
So it
Dancing.
was murder, then.
So it was murder. That doesn't explain the legs.
The legs were bitten off, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could have
No,
happened at
it's
any
not
time
good.
after death.
Rolled off.
The beast.
Could have been.
Beast in the
Been
forest.
after death.
But a sword in the back still makes it murder.
I wouldn't have taken him myself from a body, but
Yes.
I mean, we could give him back to the townsfolk.
Right.
Hmm. Now, it takes me a little to remember who I sent on patrol with him.
Let us go off and do it then.
As I said, I went on patrol,
I would think so.
and as I was exploring the border of the forest, he had gone on off towards the mist.
You.
I saw eyes in the distance.
Yes. Will you do me the favor of
And
getting my other
I
guards?
swear I heard the scream of a beast.
At least one more.
Where are they?
Somewhere
I
within
can
the
assure
town,
you it was
hopefully.
not myself. In fact,
Oh, of course, sir.
if I may be so
Okay.
bold as to suggest, we do have an exiled guard who
Quickly.
still has all of his equipment.
Which exiled god?
Joe,
That would be Joe.
remember?
When was he
He
exiled?
runs a little shop now next to the other one. We didn't exile him.
Well,
Fired.
He's not a god anymore. He's fired. Didn't exile him.
Who was the last man?
I meant,
Who was the last man with Adam?
that would be me, sir,
be
which is why I'm
Frankie over
informing
here.
you. With due diligence and as much information as I can of what I saw. And I can assure you, sir, my sword is always where it's meant to be.
Where is Adam's sword?
Right on my back.
If I find out it was you,
Captain.
I will gut you in front of everyone. You understand?
Captain, it wasn't me, Captain.
Yeah.
I can assure you it wasn't. It was Joe.
Frankie.
It was not me.
Where is Adam's sword?
Mayor. I do not know
He
where
brought back
Adam's sword is.
2 swords. One on the back, one on the floor.
That's another god.
Report.
They seem to be mingling with the people fine and well. There were some issues with some people who didn't have coffee and were kind of rude.
I heard about
Oh,
that.
that's the-
Nonsense. The rabbit girl. She's apparently kind of crazy.
Yes, the rabbit girl
Keep
is
an eye on
kind
that
of
one.
wild, and we need to keep an eye on that one. Yes, the
Mm-hmm.
little bird figure has offered us a bunch of trading proposals to many of the stalls and people for hats.
The harpy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Take nothing from them.
Harpy. Right, sir, I will notify the townsfolk not to take anything from her. So no trading at all.
Not with that one.
Not with that one.
Right, she's been running around with a little pack right now.
Trouble meets trouble.
Can't trust these
Frankie.
strangers, I'm telling you.
Right,
Yes,
they've been
Mayor.
asking
Was it a
about
sword
the
from the
war
gods?
and how it got here.
The sword, it was a guard sword. Hi, this is the one the captain was carrying with them. Sword to my own eyes.
Telling them the same shit.
The sword that killed him.
Hmm?
Assumedly. It was a god's sword.
Both of them. Was.
So we know it
You
was a
only had one
god that
style
killed
sword.
him.
Unless someone's been acquiring their sword, sir.
How hard would
May
it
I
be to
again
bring an
suggest
extra
that-
sword with you?
Stated properly, sir, that would be almost impossible. But do we even have
And where would that
reserves of
be?
weaponry?
Well, we have
What?
the old guard equipment that had been left behind when some had disappeared in the night. But otherwise, that's all we have. Now,
You also the wild card, Joe.
precisely, a man
He's a wild card.
who was fired, who holds his equipment still. He knows where we keep it.
Frankie,
I'm suggesting a further questioning might be in order.
give me your account of the murder,
Can't imagine
of the
Joe
death
being able to
of
handle
Adam
a source
again.
properly to kill.
Yeah. Give us
From
your account.
my account and what I remember, as I was patrolling the border of the forest with Adam, past the graveyard, but no further as per our rules, not past the lake, as it were, where the drinking water be. He decided to head further into the forest itself as he peered off into the distance. Said he'd seen something, yellow eyes. And I noticed it too, but I warned him. I said, don't go any further. We know what happens when people go further outside the borders of our town. They go missing. But he still did. He was always valiant, perfect, too committed to his role. And he took too far of a step. As he disappeared into that fog, I saw him snatched away. And the beast, I swear, had jaws and yellow eyes. His legs are missing. Now, there may be...
He has a sword in his back.
Precisely, there may be a sword stabbed in him from a guard. But who's to say that a guard among us is not commanding this peace? We're aware now there is a force outside of the village, and our graves are being dug on up, are they not? Well, if you ask
You're telling me
me,
that one of the guards is the witch?
I'm not saying one of the guards is the witch. I'm saying that one may be in cahoots with them. I understand you may look at me, since I was on last patrol with our dearly departed. But I can assure you my loyalty lies to this town and to its citizens. I would wish no harm on Keith's wonderful husband, and may I remind you, my best friend. To learn of his death is a terrifying thing. To learn that we may find bodies further out there, their legs missing too. An even greater threat. We can't bury our dead. And we can't trust our guard. I consider you a great friend of mine. I know, I
consider you a
want to
great-
trust you.
And I've got an alibi.
Mayor, I will leave
And
this
what's
to
your
you.
alibi?
I will tell Kate that her
I
husband
was-
has been found.
I was dead drunk at home.
It's not up to me to solve this murder. But once it is solved, we both know the punishment.
I
Of
understood
course, sir.
the answer.
Should I inform any potential suspects as well, sir?
No, there's no need.
All right. Very well. Then, sir, with your adieu, we'll continue with our duty.
Continue.
Right.
So Frankie did it. But I didn't see enough evidence there to call him out on it. And I'm gonna leave that up to the guard captain and the new people here. I'd also rather it be an action caused by the players to discover he did it, to be honest. I'd rather them solve it because it gives them more to do. And I just didn't feel there was enough evidence there because he still had his sword from what he said. The question was, could he have just brought another one? Yeah, this is the mission. I'm the mayor. I quickly kitbash this together from some King's Raid models. Because those were good for NPC models. Hiya baba. Added eye tracking to it because King's Raid models don't have eye tracking, which is interesting. But that was pretty easy to do as well. Thank you. Normally this head had like a full beard, but I just, thankfully, there's head underneath the beard, so I just removed the beard. Can I have a Nera? Yes. I can see you. I can smell you in the bushes. I can smell you in the bushes. Here he is. Sugar cane. Hello. Welcome. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Potatoes, patatas. Kuna Matata means no worries. It's your happy. Kuna Matata. Nice. Potato. What does that mean? I know what both those are, but I just don't see why they'd be together. The mayor's going for a swim. Out in the reeds. This witch is without our town. This witch is here. Trust me, I'm the mayor. I know what's best, 'cause I'm the mayor. I don't know, what's a good fucking mayor song? Lieutenant.
Alright, guard.
I'm sitting in the reeds. What's going on? I'm just watching people from the reeds.
Yeah. Yeah. That looks like they're about to go without like fully investigating the forest.
Oh shit.
So go start poking them because it looks like they may actually be getting ready to leave. Poke
Just
them,
fucking
like,
leave the town?
Really. Yeah. Really like say like, oh, I've heard you're all gathering at the gates. What's going on? Have you figured out, where people have been going missing? Like what's in the forest? What'd you find? Just really push them.
Are they really just gonna
And if
leave?
They say they
Holy
don't know
shit.
what it is. It looks like, yeah.
What's their plan? Are they going back to like tell the other students that like we found it? Oh shit,
No, it's
hold
like
on.
they're legitimately just going. Yep.
Hello.
You have the swords?
The guard captain had it.
She said they found my husband dead. The sword in his back.
I'm sorry.
That's not a beast.
Fine. We're looking into it still.
Killed my husband.
Going to figure this out.
Where are the swords? Can we not find out who could have a sword such as that?
We're not sure. But I ask you to have.
Murdered my husband and
So we are looking into it. I want this figured out just as much as you. Where's the captain?
Level 8.
Captain.
Seem to have a...
Yes.
Captain's wife is in disarray.
I've informed her of the body. She has a right to know.
He wants to see the sword. It's up to you. It's your call.
Show her.
I'll let you handle that. I need...
Fine. So stick around for the briefing at least, or do you have anything else to do?
I'm curious, have the students returned yet?
Yes, the ones from the forest that were with me have returned.
And?
Hey, man. You're also one of the people that
What do you
went
want?
to the fog, man.
I'm
Trust it, man.
unable to hear you.
I have something to talk about.
Yeah, man. Trust the new people,
Yeah.
man. I don't like them, man.
Now, some of these details I don't believe a child should be hearing.
God damn it. Keep them in check, will you? God damn it.
There we go.
And do this around all
So I
day.
wanted to stand here where I can easily see if anyone's eavesdropping. The bite marks
Should be
seemed
fine now.
large. So, if it was some kind of hunter, a large creature, I doubt what we're dealing with is bandits. No one's gonna want to stay that deep in a forest with something that can rip legs off.
With bandits even come from?
There's no bandits. There's no possibility of bandits.
Well, that makes it a little worse then. Because that leaves the option of who killed him a little more internal.
You said it was a guard sword, correct?
It was.
The guard that was with him
At
wasn't
least two
missing his
options to me.
sword, as far as we can tell. However, possible he's gotten another one.
We'd found two swords there. One in the back and one that seemed to be the dead god's sword.
I would assume his own.
In the sheet or on the ground?
On the ground.
Retaliation.
So I'm unsure if they saw something in the woods or
That's
thought
true.
they saw something. If we're lucky, he was able to strike back. You'll just have to look for an injured guard. For not, you caught by surprise and you'll just have to see who fits the schedule.
Captain, check the guards for
Only one
injuries
person
tonight.
fits that schedule.
And any former guards as well. Do that tonight.
There's only one there. It must be.
Just in case.
I don't want to think about it, but it must be.
It's his best friend.
We should check with Kate.
Yes. I think that might be. Is that her there?
Where is she?
Alright. What about the witch then?
Is she?
Persistent, old bat. Saw us, invited us to stay. Didn't want us to leave. But she kept saying that she did not cause the disappearances, and that all of you blamed her for them. However, there's a bit of information that I would like to know. She kept referring to someone as Betsy in town.
Yes.
A fine black mane and a wonderful mustache.
That would be me.
I'll wait for the student to leave your sight.
Professor?
I was trying to wave you that way. That way you didn't look like you were standing behind a rock staring at people.
Oh, I was just waiting for... Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just where you were standing. No, it's fine. Just letting you know it's a weird spot to stand.
I apologize for the intrusion.
Excuse me.
What are you not telling me?
I've told you everything. I know as much as you do at this point.
Where's Frankie?
Where's Frankie? Captain?
I'll look around.
Which is Frankie?
Green-haired guard.
It's right over there. Or he was a moment ago.
Alright. But yes, continue.
She informed us about a interesting little deal. She stays there. She's given children straight from the light. I'm hoping she was referring to people who have passed. And not a worse scenario.
This witch
There are people
spreads
behind
lies
you.
and deceit.
There they both are.
Yeah, sir.
Captain, I have nothing really personally to say to them, and I need to handle this.
Give me your description again.
Of course. As I was patrolling the forest with Adam, he stepped too far into it. He thought he saw something in the distance within the fog and travelled on out, going too far. As I stayed near the edge, I did warn him, I did. And I saw yellow eyes, and I swear teeth, as he was pulled into the fog out of sight. I have never ventured further since that fog came on in, and I never intend to see what's past that fog until it's cleared out. So, that is what I know.
Why did you let him stray near the fog?
You know how he was. He was your husband, he was my best friend, he was a trusting man, valiant, noble even. He saw something. I'm sorry, Kate, I'm sorry, he saw something. And he did what he always does. He put his best forward and he travelled on in. and he went to go deal with the problem. I tried to warn him, but his nature's too valiant. He always was. A hero at heart. I'm sorry. If I'd have known what had lied ahead, if I'd have been a braver man, I would have stopped him, I would have pulled him back, because we can't deal with the problem out there. That's not for our kind, not for our people. Perhaps it's not for yours. But from what I know, I made the wrong decision in trying to help him. If I'd have
And to help him.
merely let him... No, I mean,
Yeah.
If I'd have let him... If I'd have helped him... If I'd have helped him...
Cut the bullshit.
God, what a bullshit. I'm not saying anything. I know what happened to him. He was stabbed. He was taken away and stabbed. You found the sword. You found the sword. There was a sword.
Stabbed by who? Taken away by
I
some
do not
monster
know.
and stabbed.
Taken away by a monster. And might I say, since we've had these strangers come into this village, I have heard nothing short of this witch that's out there. People under her thrall. And these individuals return unscathed, might I add. Your men and women are unscathed, aren't they, children? We don't let our children go out in the forest.
That's because they are trained.
You train your children.
Thank you.
If we fell so
They
low,
are
well,
here. You realize they're
Mayor,
all in their
sorry.
20s, yes?
aye.
If this witch could thrall people, she could have thralled you to do it.
No, I would never let a witch run from me. I was patrolling that border. No, there may have been a witch. Was there a witch? Was there a witch out there? Everyone's saying there's a witch.
Where was the body
I've heard
found?
there's one out there, yes. Partially into the fog.
I told
Far
you he
in,
went
or-
into the fog.
Not very far.
Not
Could
very
still
far.
see the bushes in the clearing.
I told you
Truthfully,
he
I'm
went
planning to go out there
into the
and
fog.
retrieve it now.
I'm tired of standing here waiting for something to happen. Captain.
Kate, I promise I would never.
Frankie!
Controlled by a witch, I would never be. I would never do such a thing. Mayor.
We're going to figure out where that sword came from and who took it and when. Until then, you're under arrest and you're off guard duty.
Captain, please, I've been doing a valiant job.
No.
We've already lost too many guards. Are we going to let these strangers walk around and invade our town and do as
These
they
strangers
please?
have been more
pointing
help than
fingers
you
to whoever
be
they want.
right now.
Captain, just take him
I'm
away.
doing my best with this job.
Come on.
I have. Kate, I would never. I would never do anything to harm you.
Frankie's under arrest. Assist the
Kate, I wouldn't.
captain.
Come on.
Right. Frankie, what can you do?
I'll inform
I think I did it.
my people.
Hey,
Move
when
on.
you're free, I need a word.
I'll
Give
go
me a
and
moment.
What we discussed about.
Let's go no further down the road. Continue with what you were saying about the witch.
As I said, she is a persistent old bat. Seems nigh insane. But she swears up and down that she's not what's making people disappear. I don't fully buy it. But if a necromancer says part of the forest is foul,
Man, hey man, wait.
Leave!
Hey, she's going into the forest, man.
Who? Kate?
Yeah, man. I'm trying to tell her she's not coming back, man. They know we gotta run, man. She's going, man.
I'm going with.
Hey, man. Oi.
What?
Before
You
anybody
okay,
does
man?
anything crazy.
What are you doing, man?
Kate.
You know you can go into the forest, man.
I just want to.
Is the witch needed? I saw some people
I
heading
know
slightly
where
towards the
he
house.
is. I will go retrieve him now. If the man is alright with that.
One more thing, just quickly, while we have the moment. Both of you head back in the town.
It's not like your husband is going to magically.
We'll recover the body. You have my word.
Let me inform my people real quick. Captain Terlani, I will be busy with a small errand to make sure everyone is gathered together. If that is the plan right now. Okay. I'll be doing a small errand.
Return to town. I'll recover the body. If you wish to see it, you may. But you might not want to.
Are you going in alone?
He appears to be able to handle himself.
You don't worry. I've taught some of the students over there. I'm a fourth circle spellcaster. Beast, fog, or necromancer, I will handle it. And I will get you that body.
If you bring me back my husband, I will be forever indebted.
Prefer you not to be. I have enough loss without adding debts to it.
Whatever. I just want to see him. I need to bury him.
On the case of the missing people, the witch isn't taking them. There is another possibility. I didn't think to mention it before since I was so dead set on the witch doing it, but if they're honestly not taking these people, there was something else to look into before you leave.
And that is?
It's far-fetched. Over the years, there's been rumors of monsters in a cave. Just out past the fog. At least in it, in the forest. That cave has since long been forgotten and abandoned by most. But if there are beasts in the forest, that's where they might come from.
If we have time, we'll try to check the cave. But for now, I would definitely recommend to keep everyone away from that fog.
Make sure
if
it
the
stays
worry
that
is
way.
food, I'm unsure how much the people who talk to you while they're trying to set up relations with the village
would be helpful.
When it comes down to it, we can trade. Anything's useful to everybody on this island. We have a farm going. Luckily hasn't been hit by any fungal infections. So as long as we can get some help with certain things, or even just supplies, we should be able to trade food.
Hopefully. One thing again I will make clear. That witch, or necromancer as you now say, as others have said before, they are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. They steal our dead.
Yeah, they seem...
mutilate.
They seemed out of it.
I still require your aid in killing them. For the safety of my town.
I very much plan to.
Good.
Even if I have to come out here by myself with one other professor.
The only thing I requested again before. 2 options. Kill them and bring me the body. Or tie them up and bring them to the middle of the town where we can burn them.
And the second is a very dangerous option.
But much more rewarding for this
So I will
town
go
so they
with
can
the
feel
first.
safe.
Yes,
As
well.
long as I see the body. That's all I require.
The second is very dangerous. I don't know what she's capable of. Last thing I need is releasing some powerful spells in the middle of town. Or worse, using a dying birth to actually curse someone. So for everyone's safety, I'll go with the first.
As long as she's dead, I don't really care.
Yes. Now, I have a body to take care of.
I'll head back into town. I don't know if it's relevant to anyone here, but Sorfan is heading into the forest to go get the body, if it's still out there. I think it's... Oh shit, is it still out there? People made it sound like it was. Nobody corrected him, so he's going out to get the body in the forest. Yeah, it's just complicated. He's a little bit quirky. I fucking thought for some reason those 2 trees were Yiko and Kalum. From this distance, I don't know why I see Yiko, Kalum, and someone else. Hi.
I gotta discuss something with you.
Alright.
Something's come up.
What's going on?
So, farm. Has always been on down the dumps. Had a fungal infection. It's been affecting it for quite a while. So all of a sudden, this Brock Bombadil fellow came by. Showed me some thing he called a pesticide. Poured it on the fungal infection. I swear, with my own eyes, up to the gods, I swear. I watched it disappear. Faded straight into the wind. Now he promised to give us a whole batch. As well as told our herbalist how to make the concoction to fix our farm. However, he also wants a few of our cattle so he can breed them, which he has promised to double back and bring back to us. Now, I don't know where you might stand on this, and I don't know where to make this decision, because it's not only gonna affect me, but the rest of the town if the cattle gets taken. And it's a matter of trust. So,
alright.
I reckon tell you and make you see whatever your decision might be on this. Hopefully the right one.
I'll be in talks to make sure we're trading properly. We don't have enough to spare, but we do need those supplies.
Just give it some consideration.
Of course. Captain, what's going on?
I've had an idea.
Sorry, I came in late. Where can I
Where are
find
the outsiders that went into the forest?
I'm sorry.
They made it in, they made it out. But if you take our suspect in, have a look around, jog his memory.
Yes. Bring him to the site of the body.
Where are they?
Out in the forest. However, the body is being retrieved by one of the people from institution.
Well, what way did they go?
Just out into the forest, past the lake, past the pond.
Past the graveyard or that way?
That way, past the water. But he's probably returned with the
Come on,
body
Frankie.
already.
Haven't got all day.
Might as well still go to the site of it. Right.
Trying to avoid going down more public streets, but I've got him.
Oh, well, shit.
And sir, you'll be taken to. Have you already gone to the?
Hold on.
I've got him right here. That's why I was trying to use side streets.
Right.
Let me grab the captain quick.
Parade him around town.
It's the body on your shoulder, right?
Yes. Tell me if I need to dump him somewhere and go catch someone.
What is happening, man?
Go back to town. For the last time. I think I'm doing it for safety. That's what I've written down. I'm selling the bodies for safety reasons.
You can look out on the town.
Selling the corpses for the safety of the town to not have the necromancer come and kill us, I guess. That was sort of the logic I was using. It might have been a different reason, but I don't think it matters that much. That's the reason I'm going to say in character. If they say a different one, then that honestly just works. For the mayor just lying. If they decided to press me on it, I probably would have caved. It looks like they didn't decide to bring it up. Keeps the evil witch out of town.
I'm sure if you have an open grave.
No.
I'm sorry, old friend.
It's him.
He admitted to it.
I've done better.
They'd already made it back.
I wish I could have done better.
Frankie. If you would
Captain?
still be up for it, Sir
Caldwell. I'm
Caldwell.
like this, Caldwell.
Would you lead us to where, you know, he disappeared?
I can lead you to the site that I saw him disappear off to.
That'd be
To where
good
I
to
saw
know.
him disappear in the fog. All right.
Would you be willing?
Yes, of course.
Right. Let's go.
Captain, there's no need for a weapon.
I don't know what's in there.
There are certainly precautions that are worth taking.
I'm just watching this whole thing so I can order the execution.
No.
I understand you don't, but you want me to lead into that forest.
Yes.
What if the beast takes me?
Don't worry.
Come on now. May I would prefer
You're
to
with
not.
the spellcaster.
Alright.
So you too.
Stay down.
It seems as
I would
many
like
of
you
your
to
kind
keep
that
the
come
eye out
from
for
there
me,
that
since I can't do it
cast
myself
spells.
if I'm out there. Have a talk with Kate.
You all do seem to have a bewitching personality too.
Kate.
Yes.
Might be a good idea for you to go home.
I can't.
His body has been recovered and brought to the graveyard.
Thank you.
It's the least we can do. But still, it's not good to just longingly sit out here watching towards. Yeah. We're still figuring it out, as you can see. I can promise you one thing, Kate. The man who killed Adam will die by the same manner.
Good.
I'm going to keep an eye on the town while the captain is out. See what the other guards are doing. The captain and that professor, Caldwell, he said his name was, should be able to handle themselves. For the time being. Until then, I'll inform the other guards. And return to my estate.
No, of course we're not. We stay loyal to her.
Guardsmen,
We're very loyal to her, Tommy. Yes.
the captain is taking Frankie out where the body was originally located. Or at least to where he says it was located.
Understood.
When he returns, have your swords ready just in case.
Understood, sir. Is Joe allowed to be a temporary guard for this occasion? That he recently lost his rank, but we might need the extras. And I know
Joe.
that Joe is capable.
Is that the same sword you had
Yes, sir.
before?
Yes, it is.
Alright. That's all I need to know on that. Why did you lose your job?
I had to open a shop. With the recent disappearances, an extra goods seller seemed more profitable for the village. Tried doing both for a bit, but it just wasn't working out.
Alright. Seeing as you're already equipped, just keep an eye on him. Work together.
Of course.
Might as well. No harm in it.
I guess we just stand guard there. I don't think anybody else is in town that we need to keep watch over.
Also have note. Once the man who murdered Adam, our former guard, is fully discovered, we'll be having the public execution immediately. In the middle of town.
Understood, sir.
Prepare yourselves for that. His name is Betsy, but I never got to say it.
They went off that way. Did they?
I got to say it once when the
Hello, Mayor.
magnificent note. I've already spoken with Professor Caldwell, I believe his name was.
We're just preparing to leave. We're looking for the last of our number.
Alright. And what's the plan from there?
I believe we're departing. We have more to discuss, but we have to return home if we're going to make it before nightfall.
I'll inform you of this as well, just in case, but I've already informed Caldwell. There's another thing. The place where the bodies, not the bodies, but the people that go into the forest to disappear, there's another possibility. Now that he's informed me that it's possible the witch hasn't been the one doing it, it wasn't something I considered. But there's a cave out past the fog in the forest. For years, it's been abandoned. But before and after, there have been rumors of monsters. Something to look into.
Thank you. We'll be sure to inform the others. Thank you, Mayor.
Our people don't go down near it.
Of course. Let's find Tao.
Betsy was the name I was given. Betsy's an okay name. I think I was gonna...
Killed you, son of
Why?
Mm.
Hold on, let's go by the reeds. Come with me.
Wicked witch. Yeah.
What I like to do is I just like to sit in these reeds and watch people coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to do that too.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking called me out as Betsy. They didn't know my name was Betsy until that point. They didn't ask my name, so I didn't tell them.
Okay, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Though actually, they
Oh.
didn't tell me that. I'm assuming that you revealed the body thing to them. They so that's interesting. They didn't mention that at all.
I
They
said
actually
I heard screaming.
screaming.
So I didn't say there was a body. Yeah.
Oh,
It
not
wasn't long
that.
ago that he died. Yeah.
All I gotta
Oh,
do.
not the guy who.
Yeah.
Not the husband who was murdered.
No, the bodies you've been taking because of the deal.
Oh.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't mention that
But they
to
didn't
me.
bring that up with you.
No, because they didn't even want. They weren't even going to
But what
talk to
did
me. I
they
don't
say to
think.
you?
I had to go approach them. I was going to come up to me and be like, "Yo, so there's been a change of plans. They've all gone to the gate, and it doesn't look like they're going to come and find the thing they needed to find." So, and he told me what to do, and I was like, "Okay." So I just went and did that.
So what did you get told to do?
Basically, they were supposed to find something in the forest, but they decided not to keep going in the forest, like 10 feet from it or something like that. So
Oh, okay.
they just didn't see it, so I had to mention it as a possibility now that they've decided that the witch probably didn't do it, maybe didn't do it. If the witch didn't do it, basically it's like, well, then it has to be this.
Yeah.
Or then
Hopefully they keep me alive so we can be friends.
yeah, you're gonna die.
Oh yeah, I heard that they're gonna kill me. He was like, no, when he said like, oh, I'm not gonna kill her against the stake. I clearly said multiple times that they burned my mother at the stake. And like,
Oh, I
this
said
and
that.
So he maybe said no.
I asked that we could bring you into town, so
Because,
I said there was two options for them killing you. Either they kill you and show me the body, or they bring you into town and we burn you in the middle of town.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they were like, which would suck, would be cool, but it would suck.
Fuck is it, Caleb? Oh shit, he's behind. He's just, he just saw me sitting in the reeds.
I'm gonna fly over and scare
Oh wait,
him.
well, he's gone. I was gonna... Oh, hi. Oh, Stuff's going to go scare Caleb as a bird. Oh man, yeah, I relayed the information to Yiko, it's about Yiko, Talia, and Caldwell. Yiko and Talia were together, and then Caldwell was the first one I told separately. So I'm curious, how's this going to lead into the second part of the mission with the other teams? No. I assume that has to do with the cave.
Mm-hmm. Definitely has something to do with the cave, yes.
Yeah, but we'll see if they get all those
It all
details for
depends
that.
on whether or not they... Yeah, it all depends on whether or not they scout the cave or not.
Well, they should. I told them to.
But- Mhm.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
We'll see.
We'll see. Otherwise, we might have to...
You're just gonna chill here in the sugar cave?
I don't know what else the fuck to do. I have to be here in case they come to me. That's sort of the thing. It's like...
Absolutely, feel free to wander around.
I was wandering around the town, but it's like... Also, Caldwell told me that with or without the permission of the... With or without the help of the institution, he's going to come and kill the necromancer. So that's fun. So basically, even if everybody else is like, nah, we don't need to kill her, he's still going to come and do it.
Yep.
So that'll be good.
No, yeah.
I was really hoping... I was being really
One
fantasy.
set of my particle effects versus another set of my particle effects.
I was really hoping that we could get fucking Oh god, I was hoping they would screw up so I could arrest them. And then, like, I wanted to arrest the townspeople because, not townspeople. I thought it'd be fun if we arrested a member of Rosewood, and then I have to come in as Murtash and save the person I arrested with the group of the kill team. I thought that would be really funny, but
that mission isn't going to be for a long while. So
is it not? I thought it was like
No, it's not gonna be for.
Poggers?
the kill team isn't like soon.
No, we want because especially since we're gonna be bringing in new students soon. We're
Oh.
gonna delay it a
Oh, I
little
assumed
bit.
it was gonna be like
And
2
also-
sessions from now. Okay, with the way it sounded.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's definitely seemed like that would be the okay. I mean, sure. Because I assumed it was gonna be discover it, figure out what they need to do, and then send in the next team, the next group of people, like within a week in character, because that makes sense to me. I guess.
Yeah, we can character.
But that would be
4 or 5 episodes.
I mean, yeah. Are you thinking 4 or 5 episodes, or is it going to be longer than that for the next mission for the other teams?
Yeah. Okay, so they're definitely talking about the cave now. Good.
Okay, good. Thank God. And I said, it was a rumor. It was like, oh, this is, years ago it was abandoned. It was abandoned for a long time, and then but there's rumors of monsters, and that's the only other reason that people might be going missing. Far fetched, but could be the case.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm excited.
Alright, there you go. See what they're doing.
Okay.
What people are doing. You don't feel like you need to hang out in the.
It's okay.
Okay.
I'll maybe later I'll move, you know. Yeah, I can say who's joining if you guys are curious. You might know some of them. Oh yeah, no, outnumber us and burn the town? That's the idea. I want them to kill us all. It makes them more fucked up. I want to cause them to do something drastic. New people joining the RP. I can say that. I don't. I should be allowed to. Some people I know. Oh, way more fucked up than rat genocide. Because he'd be killing actual people. Which ones do you know, Mono? Oh, absolutely, those weren't people. Well, there was rats. Come on. Yep, those are the three. Hat Kid, Callista, Ross, and the last one is I think they stream. I'm not sure. But I know they're a metaverse role player as well, named Villain Shira. They applied and got in, so that's cool. I lay within the reeds. I actually really like how this model came out. As much as it's just a simple kit bash, I'm pretty decently happy with it. So the with Rosewood, you have to keep one thing in mind, and it's that, unlike the other RPs, the people who created it aren't big streamers, and they're not trying to make this something it isn't. Of course, there are changes like. One second. Yeah, I'll have to have someone else play the mayor. Or actually, you could probably have somebody just play a fill-in for the mayor. But either I made this model public just so people could all be the mayor. Let me go ahead and turn that on. Is Avatar cloning in the quick menu? That would be nice. No, it's not. Someone was gonna be the mayor's assistant today, but in retrospect, they wouldn't have had much to do, and they weren't feeling well. So that's fine. I'm still having fun. Man, a second. I guess I'll just go invisible and wait to see if they need me again. Also, let me just tell you. Excellent performance. This thing could be a fucking quest avatar. I think that the suggestions that some people will bring. So the people joining as well. I will note this. I mean, yeah, I guess I'll just say, since Murtash isn't, like... Murtash would have woken up somewhere, but who knows where. I was gonna say, something to keep in mind. Murtash wakes up in the town. Hey guys, what's going on? Oh shit, why does Rosewood look weird today? So, regarding what you're saying about RP changing with experienced roleplayers, I will note that is basically where Rosewood gets a lot of their shit from, is from RPs like FT and stuff. Not necessarily exactly the same. They have a lot of their own systems and way of roleplaying, but like combat, for example, and stuff, they've definitely looked at other RPs already to form their shit, especially for this season. After last season had some issues, they looked at what other people did, and they just improved upon it using what other experienced people had done. And I don't think that's a bad thing to change when it's for the better. I think it's not good to be worried about that sort of change, because I think that change will generally come with good things. I've been vocal about things in the past. The only thing I've really been vocal about, like RP mechanic wise, is that I just don't think I don't even know if it'll be an issue. I'm just personally against death rolls in RPs. I think there's a very clear distinction between a VR chat RP and a D&D game. And too many VR chat RPs are based around trying to be D&D games. Hello? Child. Child, get away from my estate! Child! Too many RPs sort of have this basis on, it almost feels like they're trying to be D&D. It's like they're look, this is an RPG. D&D and VRChat RP, if you make your VRChat RP just have game mechanics and focus on game mechanics, I personally feel that takes away from the RP. I think that takes a place from the story. I think that takes away from the story you're trying to tell as your character. It takes away from any possible stories you're trying to tell as your character. And it also takes away and makes it harder, I feel, to act as your character. And I'll probably fault myself in this. I don't know if I've gotten a situation, but I know for a fact that if I'm at a situation, Murtish is the type of character to keep going even if it would kill him. Yeah, this RP does have a lot of no-names, which is very interesting and very exciting. No-names, I mean by not known in the streaming community. Am I hearing voices? But when it comes to... I realize I'm deaf and shit. There we go. When it comes to RP, I'm just going to put an example in place. If I'm playing Murtesh, and I know that if I keep doing what I'm doing, Murtesh is probably going to die. I'm going to have to death roll. I'm putting my character at risk. This is going to cause me real-life panic to a certain degree. Even though Murtesh would act a certain way, it's going to be very difficult for me, I feel, to act that way. I'm still going to do my best to do it. But in a situation where Murtesh can die versus Murtesh can't, I'm going to act better in character, I feel, when Murtesh can't die. When I know that he's secure and that if he's dying, it's planned. Because I stream, I roleplay, I have characters, I have plans for Murtesh, I have ideas. And if I die on a chance-based roll, it takes away some things from me. Hello?
Has Augustus, the farmer, informed you of the deal that the travelers are proposing?
The pesticides.
That, but also they wish to take some cattle, breed them, and then return new cattle to us, and have them keep their cattle and start growing their own, I think, or some sort.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it.
Wants your opinion.
But,
All right.
as long as we're getting more than that, we require more resources than that. Our crops are withering. We won't have enough after this harvest, so we're going to need replacements for those.
Yeah, you're right.
We can give them cattle and they can breed them. As long as we have enough and they bring us food to survive until those cattle are bred. And help us fix our crops. See if they can undo whatever curse is upon our land.
I've been hearing some, talks about them doing what? A deal with a witch? Is that true?
What do you mean they're doing a deal with a witch?
The people, townsfolk are talking about deals with witches. I'm not sure how it got brought up.
There's no deals with any witches here.
Talking about it.
That witch spreads lies and deceit. And I've already got confirmation that we'll be having her head. Fear not.
Oh. Alright.
That curse will be lifted once she is dead.
Great. That's actually really great news, actually, yeah.
Yes. Within due time.
What was that? Trade deal with witch. there was. Oh, was the story about Frankie being a murderer?
Who's spreading that information? Where's my captain?
Kids, townsfolk. I saw the Captain Guard and Bill, what's his name, escorting Frankie, coming in with a sword.
Hold on. I'll find the captain.
Apparently they're doing official guard business outside near the farm.
Alright. Alright. And to your home. I'll handle this.
Right. Now, which one was it?
I don't know where the fuck to go. Yes, Rosewood still does death rolls, although they have definitely made the system way better this season.
Where is the mayor at the moment?
Middle of town. God. What the fuck? You walked right past me. So you know.
I'm sorry, sir.
What's happening?
Frankie has been found guilty. He has
Where is he?
told that he was the one that did it, and the widow now requests the fallen soldier's sword to execute the guilty.
Kate wants to kill him? Normally we'd have the guard captain do it, but I will not decline that request. Gather any townsfolk and bring them here. We'll do it on this spot.
All right, sir.
Gather anyone else who wants to watch as well. We're requesting that the townsfolk come to the center of town for an execution, if anyone's still playing them. Out of your homes! It's time for an execution. Crimes will be punished today.
Why?
Confessed and everything, sir.
How's the execution? You hope you don't hit your head.
He's bound. Don't worry.
Not that it matters.
Can't go anywhere.
What you're seeing here today, everyone, is a monster. Murderer. Killed his best friend in cold blood. Did you rip off his legs too now, did you?
I didn't know such thing, but if you suggest murdering the children of this village again, I'm sure it'll come to light.
This man is a monster. A fiend.
What does he mean?
I don't know what he means.
Nothing.
But regardless, it doesn't matter. Any words that come out of his mouth are stenched, foul.
Is there any
Still
proof
people coming over,
of
sir.
what he did?
He only spews black tar from his lungs. And so,
Maybe it was the fog.
Kate,
Murder is still murder.
are you sure that you want to do it?
I want him to suffer. Like I will for the rest of my life.
This monster will be killed the same way he killed Adam. Say his name.
Adam. The man I stabbed in the back. The dying man may have his last words, however tar stained they are. May I see them, Mayor?
That's out of Kate. May he?
They'll be your last words.
Come on now.
The only thing...
She's being kind enough.
The only words I have to say is advice from a dying man. When someone friendly offers you something, you should take every chance you can to get the upper hand. Which is what these fools here have been doing to all of you.
Shame on the traitor.
Frankie.
Always were a dumb man.
Do one more thing for me, Frankie, before you pass on.
Yes, oh glorious Mayor.
Ask Adam for forgiveness.
I will never ask for forgiveness from that man. I have no regrets.
Neither
The
do
only
I.
regret is I didn't hide the body well enough.
The gods will do with you as they will. May I have the sword? Thank you. Thank you. Kate? The honors. May you find closure in this.
There is no closure for you, Kate.
Cover your eyes, Roman.
Silence.
Adam may forgive
You'll
you.
feel the blood for the
But I
rest of
shall
your
never.
life.
May you rot in the deepest parts of the hell.
Right. We'll take care of the body.
He's dead.
Doesn't take much.
You're a shame to all of us,
Everybody
Frankie.
can continue with what they were doing. We'll handle the rest.
After this,
Oh, yes, so casually, yes.
I'm sorry you had to see this.
Take a break. You didn't have to stay.
Monsters die like monsters.
That they do.
That is no man on that ground.
Joe,
Everybody gets.
help me carry him.
I'll get the legs.
Everybody gets what they deserve in the end.
Graveyard.
Graveyard.
He deserves no grave.
You think we'll bury
I say
him?
the forest.
Come on.
Well, I brought where he left.
Put him there for now, at least.
Right. Take him away.
Understood.
He still has his armor and stuff on him.
We'll take
We'll
that off.
remove that. Come on.
Eventful day.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing solved. I think that we should bring his body out into the forest when we're done.
We will.
Have it get eaten by the beasts instead.
Sorry, I had to witness that.
The fate he brought Adam's body to be.
So looks like we're gonna have to meet up with the others outside.
Mayor, There is something I would like to say.
Yes, Captain.
Apparently they met the witch.
I was
Is it
told. Yes. I spoke with one of them, and they assured me the witch will be killed, with or without the help of everyone else. Even if they back down on it for whatever more compass they have, that witch will die. And that's all I ask.
They
And
went
they
back into the
too.
forest to investigate more.
They too can be eaten by the beasts out there. That witch. Whatever's left of her ashes, at least.
Whatever will be.
Maybe I'll use them to add an extra room to my estate. Put them in the bricking. I'll just hang her head on my wall.
Do you know where more of their superiors reside?
Hmm?
More of their superiors.
I'm not sure.
The outsider. Have a look around.
I believe I saw one of them there, although they were very small.
Hmm?
I believe I saw
Oh,
one
yeah.
of them there. I believe
Small
that
one.
was one of the ones that offered. I had the name earlier in
He is
conversation.
fixing our food problem, apparently.
Something called
Small one.
pesticides. That could prove very useful if what they said is true.
Could be. Let's hope it works. And if it doesn't, we're back just square one.
What do you?
We got his
Linvale.
equipment, sir.
Right. We'll give it to a new god,
That's
one that
right.
deserves it more than him. Did you undo any of his equipment before we stabbed him through the back, or is that just ruined?
No,
It's
we
chainmail, sir.
ruined a
Shit.
we ruined
What-
a bit of
Leather
the leather.
belt.
I have some replacement leather at my
We'll
shop.
fix it
I'm
up.
going to be closing it anyways.
We'll fix it. Don't
I
worry.
can relink it.
Alright.
We can get more supplies from the outsiders, perhaps. As well. They seem to be well armed.
They do seem to be.
I don't trust them, but they've helped us so far. At least that Caldwell fellow.
Yes.
The black-haired one I do not trust. He's
He is
shifty.
too stealthy.
The short one
Very
tried to
shifty.
take something from Justin, our herbologist.
Did he now?
Apparently they traded
Which
potions
of the
for
short-
some sort of...
They called it a pesticide, I believe as well. Hmm.
He seems peculiar, but useful. Our fields are useless, and if it helps, it helps, and if it doesn't, we're just where we are.
The one with the mustache didn't seem too bad,
Yeah, that's why.
though a bit incapable in keeping their students in check
Keeping his flock.
occasionally. As a flop. Right, I'll be just putting this into the shack next to the manor.
So. Do you have
Alright.
anything else to report, Mayor?
No. That should be it for the day. With any luck, hopefully, this Caldwell will be able to solve the witch problem. I've heard rumors running amok. The herbologist came by and told me.
What did they say?
Some sort of deal with this witch. Make sure those rumors are silenced. I don't know if it's by them
Will
or
do.
what, but those rumors are apparently running
What
around.
type of deal?
I don't know. Don't put much thought into it. Just silence them before this rest is made among by these outsiders. All right. I'll return to my estate and stand outside menacing me. fucking NPC, I'm gonna stand like one. Menacingly. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be heading back to the actual school this session with how long it's taken. Back into the reeds. I love seeing the little head just on OBS right here. Technically, I have a backup now with this mayor. I mean, actually, I technically had a backup with the, my pirate captain, Captain Valerius from last season. I need to go put him on the wiki. Captain Valerius. Valerius. I think it's Valerius. I think it was Valerius. Captain Valerius is, was actually a really good backup idea, I think. Like a naval captain. That, oh god, witch hunters. This entire town just turns into a fucking witch hunting town. Actually, not a bad idea. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, session should be ending soon-ish. We might still go back, I'm not sure. Several people hopped out, so probably not gonna go back. Zuko hopped out. Wilkie hopped out. There's still 34 of us. 3 hours and 41 minutes. And I've been in VR running for 3 hours and 48. The RP's only been going on for about 3 hours and 10, 20? 10. Because of the late start. One second.
Fuck you, I'm being a chicken.
I'm still standing. I'm still sitting in the reeds.
Come be a chicken by the gate with me.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna come talk to me again, so I might as well. Hold on.
Yeah, come. I'm invisible next to Solus.
Yeah. And plates.
Yeah. We're gonna give them.
Trade for it.
Also, because I don't want to.
Seeds, I think?
You can pretend.
I was able to get some for the cattle, but I don't think we can get the same for the chickens. We're gonna have to ask them if we can do a hat business again. We can get some chickens time.
For both of us, so there's
Fine. we can get the crafting division to help.
Tried to clone the chicken. Whoops. My bad. I didn't do anything there. I thought Sophie was the chicken model. It's fine. Fuck. Town. I'll do graveyard. I'll just go back to my fucking place because I just accidentally. Whoops.
Spook.
It's a pretty fucking weird looking chicken. Hopefully nobody saw me. I don't think anybody saw me. I'm pretty sure I was behind a wall. But it was an accident, Gears. I thought Sophie was a chicken model. Because Sophie said to me, I'm a chicken. So I was like, oh, like I'm invisible, but I'm a chicken. So I was like, oh, okay. It's fine.
They were crouched down behind the chicken.
They fucking told me I thought they were a chicken model. They tricked me. They told me, oh yeah, we become chickens. I was like, oh, okay, I'll clone your model, and it wasn't a chicken. So I was like, so I respawned.
I think the only character that saw you was Avanera. She was just looking at that. She was like, she saw you and looked at the pin like, what the fuck?
She probably saw me
Bryce was
respawn.
like, of course, go on.
Okay. That was a fuck up on my part. Because I got fucking betrayed. You want
just turned right to the witch T-posing, looking like, oh, this is a nice looking cow.
Yeah, I should have just started pecking the food on the floor. Should have been like, oh,
She was like, she's a crazy old lady.
oh god. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was a fuck up. Because I thought she was a chicken model. And she was next to a chicken, so I cloned her. Oh shit, what the hell? What was that? Oh my god.
It's got dark.
Well, it got real scary for a second. Dude, most of my session magicians was like, because I stayed here like the entire time, which was really funny.
I was like, I'm gonna go call the mayor dumb. Look up, mayor dummy, and then they immediately canon. I'm like, fuck, that's canon now. Shit.
Dude, I was like,
what a wonderful day, mayor dumb. Runs away.
I feel like I did. I feel like this was fun. Yeah. I think I did okay as the mayor. I tried not to be that ruthless, but because I wanted to.
The only thing I was like,
the
only thing I wish is like I loved the mayor, but I wish they were fat.
That's true. Maybe next time they see me, I'll be fat. Oh, because we're gonna get food now. Yeah, actually, fucking perfect. If I come back anytime later as this mayor, somebody
have to ration anymore.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, all the townspeople will still be starving, but I'll be fat.
They're starving just a little less. You're just like,
They're like,
yep, we're trying to ration out the food.
We're rationing out the food. It's just taking a toll on me. All the stress.
Since the last time we've seen you.
All the stress and all the everything.
The stress of leading a town. And
the stress of leading
this
town. Dealing with this witch's fucking curse on us. I was like...
Meanwhile, oh my god.
I had to get fucking...
Were you there for the witch? Were you there for the witch?
No, I didn't see any of it.
We were fucking zombies pouring her wine and doing her laundry. And everybody comes up and then we just start Bryce was eating a flower. Oh no, I'm pretty sure we sold it that the witch is not evil. That the zombies are not what's plaguing the town.
It's a shame that she's still gonna die.
Yep, as soon as Octavian Octavian alone.
Well, Caldwell personally told me that even without the help of everyone else, he's still gonna kill the witch.
Aw. She's such a sweet old lady.
Well, she's also a necromancer
she's-
raising the dead, so that's one of the unforgivable things.
Yeah, I mean, my family are rednecks, so everybody has their flaws.
Apparently we killed their mother. I missed that part, but that's so apparently Sophie said that. I was like, I didn't know that. Yeah, we killed Sophie's mom. Apparently we burned her at the stake, which is cool. I mean, that's fine. But I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. That's actually really good character motivation. But I didn't know that would imply we've seen witches before. And that's something I didn't realize. I would have probably mentioned that if I had known that.
Ah.
But I probably
Yeah, I
I
think it
probably
went
just
pretty
need
well.
yeah. Let me see if it's on there. I'm very old, so much I don't remember my own age, my body. Oh, the stress of eating, I mean leading this town. Bryce would eat the flowers no matter what character he plays.
True. Fucking Tell and Cookie. Oh my god. Great fucking performance.
That was good, yeah.
I was like, I wanted to follow y'all into the woods, and I stopped. And as soon as you got to the fog, I was like, I shouldn't go. Wait, am I metagaming right now? I was just curious about this story, but I feel like I don't want to know what's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and hung out his tag for a little longer.
Yeah, because
we still don't know exactly what's in the cave, do we?
That's what our mission's about, I think.
It's like recon mission. How'd it go? We have no idea what you're fighting. Great recon mission.
Yeah, my understanding is that that's relating to like what our kill mission is. There's most likely something in the cave that we have to kill. I keep hearing the word something about a warlock. I don't know where that's coming from. It's not a word I ever said. But it would also make sense. Somebody in the cave summoning monsters. Kind of what a warlock does. So
It would just also be another worm.
I don't want another worm. Last one killed Jesse.
Can you imagine if they got to the mouth of the cave? Because I know Gitrum was with them. Gitrum gets to the mouth of the cave, just sees the worm come in, is like, "Nope, we're running, we're turning, leaving. Nope."
It was really funny. Oh man,
we don't have this.
I don't know, guys. I just have this weird feeling we shouldn't go in there and deal with this. I just have this weird feeling I don't want to go near that thing.
He's like, wait, pauses, like brings up the character things, looks around and just sees Smokey in the fucking darkness. I'm not going in there. I don't.
So horsing there, cow. Fuck. So Kazan at one point came up to me and was like, "Hey, small change of plan. Join DM2." I was like, "Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's going on?" And Fortune basically told me that they got to the cave, but didn't see it. We're like 10 feet from it, and then said, "Let's not go any farther," and left.
Yep, that's what happened.
So then it comes up to me and be like, so when they come, so it was like, hey, when they come back, just tell them about that there's another option, that there's a cave out there that's been abandoned. People have rumored monsters coming from it. And just say you didn't mention it because it wasn't relevant because of the witch. I was like, okay. And then I think they came up to me again and was like, hey, they're leaving, so you should go, like, wander and find them and tell them that you heard they were leaving. I was like, fuck, where are they leaving? I was like, they were just gonna leave without talking to me. Maybe they just thought I wouldn't be here. I'm persistent and patient. If I'm an
You
NPC...
realize how long I've been waiting to do some actual mayor work? It's been a while.
Gone through RP and RP. I'm gonna fucking apply. In fucking Neon Divide, they're holding a mayoral election in the row.
Yes.
And I'm gonna try and get the job.
The biggest con.
Like,
Yeah,
hey.
I know. Technically, I'm in charge of the row.
So, I'm like in charge now, right?
Because the other mayor he was never around.
Well, Coach has actually been around like almost every session this time, I think. Last season,
Okay, nice.
last season I think he got kind of screwed over at one point, but this season he seems pretty active. But everybody got kind of screwed over last season, at some point.
I feel bad. I have Kiki's hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave me their hat, and I was like, I don't.
I feel kind of bad because
your
I mean I don't really feel bad about it, but I was like super fucking fantasy racist against Kiki specifically. I made sure I told them that they
yeah,
needed
the
a
guards
guard.
kept telling me it's like, don't let the mayor hear that you traded with the bird.
Damn it, they let you do that.
I traded with them twice.
You weren't supposed to. The guard was supposed to stop it.
I mean, in the defense, I'm pretty sure. I think this was as both guards were like leaving the
Hello,
mayor house, and then they ran into me.
NPCs. Thank you, everyone. This was fucking fantastic. You can feel free
God?
to respawn.
Thank you, God.
You're very welcome.